Hey everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm going to be making a delicious dinner for two for you by request from a really good family friend of ours, Traci Palmatier, who said she is tired of the same old, same old. So Traci, I am going to mix it up for you today. I'm going to be making a Korean style beef bowl. It's a delicious ground beef with a sweet bulgogi sauce on top of a pickled napa cabbage slaw with a beautiful jasmine rice bed. This is a family favorite in my house and also was the #1 selling dish in my business. I did actually make a few more servings than two in that business. So I typically would make about 140 servings at a time, but luckily this dish scales beautifully up or down, no matter which direction you want to go. So with no further ado, let's get started cooking. So before we get started cooking, I'm going to go over with you guys all of the ingredients for today's dish. 1/2 cup of jasmine rice, 3/4 cup of water, kosher salt, black pepper, sesame seeds, any color is fine. I've just got the tricolor. 2 tablespoons of neutral tasting oil, 1/4 cup of soy sauce. I'm using gluten-free today to make this a gluten-free dish, and a little squeeze of sriracha. You can see that red on top there. 1/4 cup of brown sugar, 2 tablespoons of toasted sesame oil, 2 tablespoons of grated or chopped garlic, 1 tablespoon of grated or chopped ginger. If you get really lucky, these 2 ingredients can be found in your local grocery in little squeezy tubes already grated for you in the vegetable aisle or section. 4 stalks of scallion or green onion slice. It's going to equal about 1/2 cup. Some form of vinegar. I'm going to use this really delicious roasted garlic rice vinegar, but honestly, you can use any light colored vinegar that you want. I just recommend not using something dark like balsamic. You want something that's got a nice bite to it. 2 to 3 cups of shredded napa cabbage and about 3/4 cup of shredded carrot. If you don't want to do all this slicing and dicing, just get a bag of coleslaw mix from the vegetable aisle or section. And then, depending on how much meat you want, 1/2 pound all the way up to 1 pound of ground beef. I'm using 1 pound, but I'm kind of a glutton. Let's get cooking. I like to start out with the rice. That's 1/2 cup jasmine rice, 3/4 cup water, and a little sprinkle of kosher salt. This is going to come up to a boil, get a lid, and cook for about 10 to 12 minutes. There goes our lid, and with a little bit of YouTube video magic, our rice is all done, nice and steamy. Sorry about the facial, guys. You can set that aside, and next up I'm going to saute up that napa cabbage and carrot. This is about 1 tablespoon of canola oil, and I am getting this pan super, super hot. Everything that we cook today is going to be in a really, really hot pan, and it all is going to get cooked in this pan. Not a whole lot of dishes. Nice sizzle. And you want to just keep tossing this around. I'm not really trying to brown this up. I just want to wilt down that napa cabbage. This takes no more than 5 minutes. A little bit of salt. And after that cabbage is wilted, add your vinegar. I used about 1/3 to 1/2 cup here, but depending on your taste, how much vinegar you like, you can add 1 tablespoon, you could add 1 cup. There goes that facial again. Vinegar facial, yum. Set that aside. Oh my gosh, I'm wearing socks. I just noticed that in the video. And my stove is dirty. Yikes. Get yourself together, girl. Yeah, clean up your mess. All right, back to it. In that same pan, really hot, we're going to add our beef. Sizzle, sizzle. We're going to brown this up Add a copious amount of black pepper. Keep on browning. Once that is all nice and browned, it looks beautiful. We're going to take that aside and then drain it. You don't need all that extra oil. Same pan again on a really, really hot stove. Add the remainder of your oil. 2 tablespoons of garlic. Tablespoon ginger. Half of your sliced scallions or green onions. Reserve that for garnish. You really want to keep moving this around too. That pan being so hot, it's going to easily burn the garlic and the ginger. I needed to add a little bit more oil. This sautés for no more than about 1 minute to 2 minutes tops. You do not want to burn this or it's going to get bitter. Now I'm going to add our soy sauce and sriracha. Again, a beautiful sizzly sound. I love that. Our 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Give it a stir, and this is going to start bubbling away. It ultimately is going to look like a caramel sauce, and it is going to make your house smell delicious. After that bubbles away for a while, it is going to reduce down. Again, no more than probably like 1 minute because the heat is so high. And then we're going to add that 2 tablespoons of sesame seed oil. And you'd want to add this at the very end. That oil is really delicate, so if you would put that in at the beginning and let it heat up too much, you wouldn't get the same taste from it. Now we're going to add that drained ground beef. And I'm going to turn off the heat now and just give this a really good stir to get that sauce well incorporated with the beef. Just watching this back, my mouth is watering. All right, let's plate. Start off with a bed of that jasmine rice. I try to spread it as evenly as possible. Now a little sprinkle of your sesame seeds. I like a little bit more than a little, but you can add as much as you want. This is your dinner. Top that with our pickled napa cabbage and carrot mixture. Now the crowning jewel, our caramelized bulgogi ground beef. Yum-y! Get every last little bit. Trust me, you're going to want it. Now for the pretties. A little more sesame. And some of that leftover spring onion or scallion for some green. Beautiful. Dinner is served. I am looking forward to tasting this. I used to sell this so much and didn't eat it that much, but now it is such a treat and a favorite in my house. I look forward to it every single time I get a chance to make it. Make sure I try to get a really good bite. A mixture of everything. Yummy. Mm. The first thing that hits me is that pickled cabbage. I like that little burst of that acid that it gives you. Because the bulgogi sauce is pretty sweet with all that brown sugar, the balance of that cabbage is really necessary to make this dish perfect. Mm. Every time I make this, I realize why this was the #1 seller in my business. When me and my employee would be portioning out what seemed to be an endless number of containers of this, sometimes I would just question, like, why do people like this dish so much? It's crazy. It's rice. It's ground beef. It's cabbage. Why? And then I taste it. Mm. Perfect meal for 2 or 4 or 400. Thanks so much, Traci, for requesting a dinner for 2. I think you've inspired a little bit of a new series for me. I will be adding more delicious meals for 2 to my channel, and I look forward to sharing with you. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for cooking with me today. Stay tuned for the next episode, and don't forget to like and subscribe.